Westfield State University will hold its 4th annual Fresh Check Day this Thursday to promote mental health awareness, wellness, and suicide prevention. The Fresh Check Day is a program of the Jordan Porco Foundation, a national charity dedicated to suicide prevention. Carolee McGrath sat down with Julia Nedry, Westfield State University's outreach coordinator in the Counseling Center, to learn more.
We've been doing it for 4 years, and basically it's focused on suicide prevention. That's the main focus of the event. And it's really important because suicide is actually the second leading cause of death amongst young adults ages 18 to 24. And our research shows us that actually 2/3 of people who need help with their mental health, young adults, do not get any help, no help at all, no counseling, no medication. And so this event is really important because it does a lot towards destigmatizing and breaking down the barriers so that students will feel more comfortable getting the help that they need so that they can do better in school, and also so that we can prevent suicide. So that's the main focus of the event.
And I think the suicide rates are staggering, as parents or as a mother, you think of that and you say, gosh, that's just so, awful and heartbreaking that people who might need help, are afraid to seek it. How do you break down that barrier and that stigma?
Yeah, well, I mean, we do a lot on campus, but for Fresh Check Day specifically, we really focus on making the event approachable and fun. So, you think of a mental health fair and you think like, ooh, that sounds boring, right? But the part of the event is that there's activities, there's a bunch of raffle prizes, there's free food, there's music. So it's this thing that students really want to come to and they really have a good time at. And the peer-to-peer messaging is really key. So we do a lot of training beforehand of the students. We do some training on suicide prevention, and we also do training on topics. So at Fresh Check Day, there's sort of each booth is by topic, like body image and LGBT and suicide, which actually the suicide rates are higher among LGBT youth. So these specific topics, they go around and they get a little stamp card and they can get raffle prizes, and the students will talk to them and give the message. So if I'm giving the message, it's like, well, I'm a therapist, so obviously I have a vested interest in this message. But if you're hearing it from someone your own age, it's like, oh yeah, maybe it is actually okay to get help, or maybe it really is okay to talk about these things.
What do you hear from kids on campus about like the biggest stressors in their lives? Well,
I think just what you might imagine for college students, balancing all that they have to deal with, balancing their work, balancing their social life, balancing their extracurricular activities, making sure that they know what they're going to do in the future. That's also really stressful for them. And the number one presenting problem that we see in the counseling center is actually anxiety. And that's shifted from about 10 years ago. It used to be depression in college counseling centers, but now it's anxiety. So we see a lot of anxiety, yeah.
And just the pressure to perform, right? To get good grades. But there also are social pressures as well. And I'm sure that plays into anxiety, fitting into a social scene, being able to keep up with that social scene and keep up with your grades, while being away from home and not having sort of like that parental supervision that could catch you, when you fall.
But I think even more so now with social media, there's so much comparison, constant comparison, and it's like really hard to disconnect from that pressure and the expectation or the thought seeing on social media, these moments that people choose to post, it's like the happiest moment, only the best moment, and like what is really going on behind that. I think students oftentimes feel like they always have to be at their best, always have to be having fun. I mean, if you're always comparing yourself, that's very anxiety provoking. And we have a lot of research too to show that people's perceptions are very different than the reality. So if you look at sexual behavior, if you look at drinking, if you look even at mental health, there's a perception that, perception like, for example, everyone's drinking or everyone's having sex, or if I go to the counseling center, people will judge me. But you look at so many studies that show us, there's this perception like everyone's doing, but really in college, only 30% of students are drinking heavily, and not everyone's having sex. And actually, if you go to the counseling center, there's a huge study that shows that only 5% out of like hundreds of thousands of college students agree that they would judge you. But the perception, like, will you judge someone to go who goes to the counseling center is like, 50% of people say, yeah, other people will judge me. So social media, I think, really exacerbates this. It's like the difference between what the social norm actually is versus what you see on social media or what you perceive in like what other people are doing or how people will judge me,
And what's the response been from not only from students, but I'm sure from faculty who see students who are struggling, whether it's in their class or as they pass around on campus. What's the response been from people?
People love the event. I mean, I think that it's a really fun time and people have gotten really enthusiastic about it, and they're really happy that we're doing something like this, that we're talking about it. And we're doing more to train faculty because that connection is so important. We try every semester to get the faculty to talk about the counseling center in their class or their syllabus because, I've heard from faculty that it makes such a huge difference just when they say anything about mental health, anything at all. So if they're announcing this event in their class or they're saying it's okay to go to the counseling center, it's like students are looking up to them, and they're seeing like, okay, I can talk to my professor. Like if I'm struggling, if I'm having a hard time, I can say something before it gets totally out of hand and there's nothing I can do about it and my academics are really suffering. Like making that connection can go such a huge way towards breaking down that stigma.
And how do you help students themselves help their friends or their roommates to recognize signs that somebody in their group is really struggling, particularly with suicide? I mean, I know the emphasis is on suicide prevention, but how do you give a 19-year-old the skills to understand how to help?
Yeah, well, I use humor. When we do the training for Fresh Tech Day and we meet with all the different clubs, we have over 25 different clubs at Westfield involved in the event, volunteering. And so when we meet with the training, we talk about, how to recognize the signs, which, I mean, that's not very humorous, but then the humor sort of comes in like, you just kind of have to rip off the Band-Aid, like you really just have to ask that question because it's like, it's anxiety provoking. There's so much stigma around it. That's why people don't talk about it. That's why people suffer in the dark. And, as a therapist, I've talked to students where I'm the only person who knows how deeply they're struggling, or I'm the only person in their life who knows that they're thinking about suicide, and that just really breaks my heart. I want to break down the stigma so that people feel like they can be honest with those in their lives and get the support they need, because it can be such a relief when you feel like, oh, I don't have to hide. Just that can do such a huge amount for mental health.
And is it as simple as saying to your friend, hey, listen, are you okay? Are you considering suicide? I mean, are you that direct in those conversations?
Yes, you are, yeah. It's one of those myths where kind of like the myth that, like if you're a parent and you talk to your kids about sex, they're going to want to go out and have sex. And I always say, like, no child has ever wanted to have sex after their parents talk to them about sex.
No.
You're right, that's not what's on their mind. So this is the same thing with suicide. If you say suicide, it's like we have this, because of the stigma, we have this idea like, I'm going to give someone the idea to kill themselves. And that's just really, it's a myth. That's just not really how it works. So just being okay with asking the question, not saying like, you're not thinking about suicide, are you? Because if you were, like, how would you answer that question, So just being really direct and saying, like, are you thinking about killing yourself? Are you thinking about suicide? It's such a relief for the person to know that they can be honest with the person that cares about them.